Summer in the city means there are more festivals, there's parties and other social gatherings taking place. If there will be drug consumption at an event that you are attending soon, you'll want to keep in mind some important safety reminders when it comes to partying safer. Here to tell us more is Megan Francoeur from Ottawa Public Health. Really appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks for having me. Like you said, school's out, festival season's here, cottage season. We're excited to be making sure people get this safety messaging.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really important that this is constantly reminded amongst people. We are going to get into the kit. We're going to dive into there a little bit later. But can we talk about the website and what some services are available there?
Yeah, so Ottawa Public Health has a new Party Safer digital toolkit. There's some great resources for festival and event staff, volunteers, free trainings that take 15 minutes with some really practical tips. Also resources for parents and guardians, how to talk about substance use with your teens, and for festival goers, school students as well, just trying to make sure everybody gets this type of messaging.
Yeah, it's so important, and you actually are launching kind of a new protocol. What is the type of training that goes into something like that?
Well, so with this initiative, these trainings have tips on before you go out, make sure you are planning a safe ride to and from where you're going, obviously staying hydrated, making sure you've got your sunscreen, but we know that alcohol and drugs are a part of the festivities and celebration often too. So just making sure that we're not mixing substances, starting low, going slow, looking out for each other, and of course, getting naloxone, making sure that we know how to respond to overdose and things like intoxication too.
Yeah, and we talked about how, summer, we are in full effect now. A lot more people are taking some time off and spending time at parties. There's bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, summer get-togethers, cottage weekends. So summer is a time that we really want to focus in on some of this. And you see that too from Ottawa Public Health, where in these months, that upkeep is starting to track.
Right. People are out more gatherings, and we've been out on site at a lot of special events recently, and it's been so nice to see the response from thousands of people coming up and saying that they're happy to be doing this type of training, and we love to see it when someone walks by our tent and goes, I already have a kit.
That's probably your best moment. You see that, you just give a double thumbs up.
Exactly.
So now that you've brought our attention towards the kit, maybe we'll dive in to see what's in here and then how to actually administer one.
So this is naloxone kit. Naloxone is a medication that can temporarily reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. Inside there are some nasal sprays in this one. There's also an injection version, and people can get these kits at a lot of local pharmacies, community centers, and at our website, partysafer.ca. There's a harm reduction and naloxone button in that digital toolkit where people can find a list of where to go for these, as well as punch in your address and find the closest place to you to get one. It comes with instructions, so 5 steps on what to do. Very easy to use. This one is a spray in the nostril. It also comes with gloves and a mask for rescue breathing, CPR if needed, and the steps are really easy. We always want to make sure that if somebody looks like they're passed out, that we're trying to get a response and calling 911 to make sure help's on the way.
And what do these exactly do? For those wondering, is it safe to use this, or like, I don't know, I see somebody maybe struggling. What would your advice be towards them, and maybe give them, a little bit of a description of what naloxone does?
So it can be hard. You might not know if it's a stranger, you're not sure what somebody's taken. It might be alcohol, it could be heat stroke, it could be an opioid overdose. The important thing is to try to get a response, and some of the key signs of an opioid overdose would be the person might not be responding, not waking up when you're trying to wake them up, low, slow, or irregular breathing. Maybe the lips or nail color is changing to blue, purple, or gray. So those are just some of the signs, but if you see that, don't be scared. It's a very safe medication. Start with your 5 steps that come from the Ministry of Health in the kits, and make sure you're calling for that help.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate your time today. For all of our viewers at home, one last advice towards where they can go find more information.
So visit partysafer.ca and look at the free trainings, the practical tips, and we're excited to see you out there for the rest of the summer. It should be fun.
Well, thanks, Megan. We appreciate your time, and what we're trying to do is get the Megan double thumbs up to everyone that walks by the festivals.
Yeah, exactly.